When do I use comparative and superlative adjectives? Well, it's very simple. When you're trying to compare two things, but only two, you're going to use comparative adjectives. So for example, if you look here, you are taller than me. So the person that is you has a bigger height than me. Notice that we use then, in this case, with an A, not with an E. Be careful of your homophones. When you're trying to compare more than two things, and the one is the most of that thing, that's when you use superlative adjectives. So if you look at this, you are the tallest in the class. That means that of all of the people, you in this sentence is the most tall. Both for comparative and superlative adjectives, there are rules to follow when we want to use them. So for example, if your adjective has only one syllable, so syllables are sounds that are made by the word. So for example, tall is only one syllable. You're going to add er and then. So for example, when you use tall, if you want to say that someone is more tall than the other person, you're going to say taller than. And when you want to compare two or three or four things, then you're going to say that this person, for example, is the tallest, so the most tall. So when we have then one syllable adjectives, but that end in vowel and consonant. So for example, hot. So O is a vowel and T is a consonant. What that means is you're going to have to double the consonant, and then you can add ER and then THAN. So for example, hot, one syllable, one sound, becomes hotter than with doubling the T's. And when you want to use a superlative adjective, comparing three or four things, you're going to use the hottest. So for example, around the equator is the hottest place on Earth. When it comes to adjectives that have two syllables and that end in Y, you're going to do something that we've done before, which is changing the Y to an I and then add our ending. So for example, scary becomes scarier than, as in The Conjuring is scarier than Monsters University. And for superlatives, you're going to change the Y and the I, and then you're going to add our ending, which is S. So for example, the scariest. The Conjuring is the scariest movie I've ever seen. For all the other adjectives that have two or more syllables, like intelligent, you cannot say intelligenter than me. That sounds very weird. So what you're going to do is actually use the words more or less in front of the adjective, and at the end, add than, THAN. So for example, more intelligent than. And for the superlative form, you just use the most or the least in front of the adjective. So the least intelligent person in the class is Tommy, for example. There are also irregular adjectives when it comes to superlatives and comparatives. So for example, bad becomes worse than or the worst. Good becomes better than or the best. And fun becomes more fun than and the most fun.